wanna get high, man?
Let's stimulate your mind.
Get up, Chucky!
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
Rojan Kim?
Hello, and welcome to the Rojan Kim cast. It's me, Rojan Kim. Thank you so much for joining me today, February 19th, 2021, for episode 227 of what has now become a weekly podcast. I started out strong. The pandemic started. I was like, I'm going to do like 3 video podcasts a week. And I was doing video casts, and I was doing that. And then after a while, I was like, all right, we're going back to new video. Get back to normal. Going back to normal. Well, that's not true. I have been busy. Okay, I've been busy. I've been reading books. You know, I'm sure in my last podcast about Dune versus The Matrix was riveting. Okay, I'm sure it was riveting. So I'm reading more books. I'm reading other books. I'm really doing a lot of reading. Okay, the next book I'm probably going to talk about is called. I got 2 books in the pipeline. One's called The Fourth Turning. It's a nonfiction book. Super interesting. And there's another book I read called And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. And I want to compare that with the movie Knives Out. Knives Out. So if you want to follow along, go ahead and get And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie on Amazon.com or wherever books are sold. And also, I don't know. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Watch Knives Out. Also on Amazon.com, on Amazon Prime Video. I have to say it right. You know, if I'm going to get the sponsorship, you got to say, you can't just be like on Amazon.com because you can't really watch. I mean, I guess you could go to Amazon.com and then type in Knives Out, and then you'd be offered a list of products related to Knives Out, like the DVD. But I feel like Amazon, they've got to be able to just like, am I going to do it now? Fuck, my phone's right here. I can't help it. We live in the 21st century. All the information is at your fingertips. Why speculate anymore about anything? I type Knives Out into Amazon. Okay, I type Knives Out, and yes, Prime Video, watch now. So you know what? Fuck, I could have saved a lot of time and just gone on with the original copy I was riffing about. Go on to Amazon.com and watch Knives Out. Anyways, I'm going to tackle those 2 things. I thought they were very interesting because Knives Out is supposed to be a modern whodunit, right? Like that sort of Clue, whatever. And then There Were None is really like the prototypical one. So I thought that was awesome. Fourth Turning I'm reading because I am started watching a lot of Real Vision. You guys into that? You guys watching the Real Vision? It's all about the Real Vision. Fuck Jim Cramer. Fuck Planet Money. Fuck all these basic bitch fucking podcasts and shows about money that fucking it's all trying to keep you in the fucking, it's just trying to keep you in the game, man, in the fucking rigged market game, man, making you think that everything's okay when it's all just fucking rigged, man. Well, Real Vision's cool because you get a lot of macro stuff. You get a lot of good democratizing of financial information, you know, like stuff like that. I'm also applying to a bunch of stuff. I'm thinking about like working in crypto. Fuck it. I spent a lot of time studying it, spending a lot of time reading about it. Might as well like learn. Like, I don't know. I could be like I applied for like an analyst position, but just like a volunteer analyst. Like I'll work for free. I'll just be a PA, work for free. I got my own crypto I've been hoarding with all the stimmy money and any, you know, whatever money I get. I just fucking convert it into Bitcoin. Bitcoin, really, not the other. Here's the thing. I do have a confession, and that is that I am a shitcoiner, okay? That's what the Bitcoiners... So, like, the Bitcoiners are just convinced that, like, you know, it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the hardest money. There's nothing else like it. Everything else will inevitably... All roads lead to Bitcoin. There's another book I'm going to read called the Shitcoin Standard, which everybody goes on because everybody is sort of like... We price everything in dollars. because we're used to it. I mean, we don't know anything different. So, like, if we imagine there was an empire and they priced everything in just like shells or something, right? And just for generations, 2-3 generations, 2 generations you're using shells. Everybody would just be like, yeah, shells. Fucking everybody uses shells. And then one day the shells, it's like not as valuable anymore, or they just keep making more shells, just keep introducing new shells, and you're like, which is this money worth anything? You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? This is the thing that's happened. This is the thing that's happened in the past. I don't know exactly with shells, but with other things, with currency, paper currency. Anytime big empires decide, hey, we got to fund these wars because we're running out of money in the treasury, and you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to take the money off the gold. We're just going to print money and go to war. A lot of times I think it's like ego. It kind of seems like hubris that creates this compulsion to take money off of some kind of standard like gold or just something everybody can agree on and into something called fiat, right? Which is it's just like God going, let there be light. Let there be light. And you just will it into existence. And you're like, you have the hubris to say, hey, I can manage the market. I can manage supply and demand. I can manage money. I can basically use, because money is ultimately like what? A medium of exchange, store of value, all that stuff, right? Like money, me. Okay. Listen, all I'm saying is that like naturally over time, you could create fiat, you could create money that's not pegged to anything, but over time, historically, it seems to lead to the death of empires more than Afghanistan. I mean, we've got both. We're like, fuck, America has such hubris that we're like, I don't care about Afghanistan or fiat. We're doing both. We can have, not only can we have guns and butter, we can have guns, butter, fiat, and war. Okay, we can have it all. We can have it all. We can take the guns and go to war. We don't. We could make all. We have enough guns for every. You want guns? You want guns? We got guns. We come over to Uncle Sam's Gun Emporium. We got all the guns you could ever need. Who do you need to kill? What do you need to kill? What do you need to shoot? What do you want to blow up? We got it. Do you want a robot to do it? What are they there? Come on down. Come on down to Uncle Sam's Explosion Emporium. What do you need to explode? We've got all the munitions. We've got all the weapons. Everything from World War I till now. Anything, all level of technology. You want a hand-cranked Gatling gun? You want a hand-cranked Gatling gun that fires 50 caliber bullets? Because we fucking got one right here. It's oiled and ready to go. All you need to do is crank it like fucking great-grandpappy did. You all right? To mow down the Confederates. Dude, we got it all. You want an exploding saber? We got one of those. You take it. Looks like a regular Marine saber. You pull it out. You do a little thing, and then you throw it, and it just boom. It has the explosive capacity of 2 sticks of dynamite. That's what you get at Uncle Sam's Gun and Explosion Emporium. Weapons galore at Uncle Sam's. Yeah, that's what we are. We also have butter. You want butter? Uncle Sam's Gun and Butter Emporium. What kind of you want I can't believe it's not butter, because we got that too. We got fucking fresh butter. We got old butter. We got melted butter. You need slightly melted butter to make cookies, to get that fluffy, crispy fluffiness, because if you use cold butter, it kind of collapses. It's not the same. You need that. We got that. You want that Anna Smith & Wesson 45? You get both at the same time here at Uncle Sam's Guns and Butter Emporium. Uncle Sam. You see it? That's what it's come to. The store of value for America, we created a fiat standard. The fiat standard, of course, pegged to petroleum. It's called the petrodollar, right? The world cannot buy or sell oil unless it's in dollars. It's called the petrodollar. Right, there's all this talk about Bitcoin being bad for the environment. Yeah, Bitcoin's bad for the environment because of the mining. Look at how much energy Bitcoin takes. It's fucking called the petrodollar. The reserve currency is called the petrodollar. We fucking kill people. Did you know every place we invaded, besides Afghanistan because they don't have oil, but whoever has oil, if they decide to create a new standard for oil, like trade and something else like gold or whatever, we invade them. Did you know that? That's what happened in Iraq. Did you know that? And Libya. Did you know that? We go in there. Like, no. So war is a direct result of the petrodollar. Okay? What causes more energy? What's bad? What's worse for the environment? You fucking morons. All right, I'm sorry. I was, listen. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm just talking about fiat. I just made a confession. I'm shitcoining. Yeah, okay, so the shitcoin. Fiat is a shitcoin. What is a shitcoin? The Bitcoin maximalists, right? That's a term coined by the founder of Ethereum. Just like a 20-year-old kid. I guess he's 30 now or whatever. But just a guy, right? Bitcoin maximalist, this idea that the Bitcoiners have that everything will eventually lead to Bitcoin. That's sort of like a evolutionary thing they believe. Meanwhile, all this other stuff, I mean, many currencies exist, but even now, many currencies exist, but you want to have dollars, right? That's what the reserve currency is. You want to have dollars. At least that's what, in America and most of the world, that's what they think. A lot of people around the world are moving away from dollars, which is why I think you see the explosion in the price of Bitcoin hitting almost 55K, guys, all-time highs. Ethereum 1960 and Binance coin BNB 300. Should I be one of those crypto guys that just reads the number of prices? Read prices. That takes up time. GME is trading under $40 right now before close. The 2-year, 10-year Treasury yield, bond yield spread is increasing, is getting up to almost over to that dangerous 1.3, 130 basis point level. I do not know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about, but the Real Vision told me to pay attention to the 10-year yield on the Treasury because that's like a toggle of sorts. You don't want to get too high because that's a sign of inflation. And then this other dude, Craig Hemke, from all these, I'm listening to like precious metal podcasts or whatever, like mining podcasts or whatever. He said every time there's a over a 130 basis point spread between the 2-year and the 10-year Treasury note yield, there's a crash or the stock market corrects or whatever. I don't know. Hey, you guys know what that means? You guys understand what that? If you guys understand what that means, let me know. I think I understand what that means. I think I understand. There's like a yield rate. There's a percentage point yield rate on these Treasury notes the U.S. has, and that's an indication of like people's faith in the dollar or the economy of the United States. There's also like long term, plus there's like the 2-year and the 10-year. The rates are different. The closer the time is, so like the 2-year the government has more control of, but like the 30-year they have less control of. And you look at these spreads to check out inflation, blah blah blah. I don't know all that stuff, but apparently it gets. Here's the thing: you got the fiat, you got the printing. You got your inflation that'll probably come. People are like, shit, inflation's coming. So the government needs inflation. We need some inflation. They're trying to say, like, we need like 2% inflation, guys. Okay, you need inflation. But at the same time, you don't want too much inflation. You got too much inflation, things start losing value. You're like, right? You get too much inflation, people start pushing, they're getting out of dollars. You gotta keep it down. But you don't want deflation. You don't want deflation because then your dollar loses value. Prices start plummeting. Dollar loses value. Everybody's making less money. Your debt, on the other hand, is worth more. The debt is worth more. Oh, God. See, inflation's good. If, like, for me, I've got a lot of debt in U.S. dollars. So inflation for me is great. Let's inflate the debt away. You want to inflate the debt away? Be my guest, because that's inflating my debt away. Fucking Jubilee, debt Jubilee. Get rid of it all. Thank you. That's that. So it's great for me. It's great for me. I'm always going to be in the negative. I'm literally going to be in the negative unless Bitcoin hits like, $1 million. Like, I will always be in the red. Okay? For the price of my education, for how well-spoken I am, that is the cost. For all those years in New York City grad school, having the finest Ivy League education, the finest minds in the land, talking about Wes Anderson. That's the price I paid, right? That's the price you paid. That's all taxpayer money. I mean, that's the price everybody's paying. Everybody's in debt. That's the price. I mean, look, I'm again, it's the whole thing about like how they tried to say Bitcoin's bad for the environment. Like, oh, I'm bad for the economy for taking on this debt that I probably can never pay back. I'm the bad guy and not the person giving me the debt. Not the person who was just like, yeah, take the, everybody's like, take the debt. Not the government. Not the person just printing the money. Not the people inflating the price of college to the point where you have to get into lifelong debt to even go through it. When just a generation before, you could have a part-time job and put yourself through school. I'm the bad guy, even though there's an entire credit market, entire debt market, giant bubble, just fucking, they're just handing credit out left and right. They don't fucking care who has it. They don't even care. They don't know how and then they use credit default swaps where they sell the credit. They're selling it off, and then create a whole financial crash. And I'm the bad guy. After the financial crash, I was like, fuck, I gotta take more loan money. More loan money. Keep taking out loans. Fuck it. I mean, listen. There's a guy out there right now. His name is Michael Saylor. Okay, he's the CEO of a company called MicroStrategy, and he made waves last summer when he decided to put his company's treasury into Bitcoin. You might have heard about him. MicroStrategy. I wanted to get into that stock when that shit was like 100. Okay, shit's almost, it fucking shot up past 1,000. It's back down, right? And that shows like people are into this. They're like, oh, that's a great strategy, because his Bitcoin purchase has tripled since then. I think I bought around when he did. I think that's probably around when I started. And now what he's doing is taking out loans on his Bitcoin, using his Bitcoin as collateral. It takes out loans, takes that money, buys more Bitcoin with it. And this isn't like some degenerate. I've heard this guy. He's not like a wild man. He's not a degenerate. He's a very reasonable, somewhat stern figure, but he's whatever, dude. Okay, they call him a Giga Chad, right? I mean, the guy is a billionaire. He can afford to do this. He personally owns thousands of Bitcoins, or tens of thousands, who knows. His company owns definitely in the 5 figures of Bitcoin. It's in his best interest to pump up the price. Everything's being pumped and everything's, and I get it, right? Bitcoin's at a fucking all-time high. Ethereum's at an all-time high. Binance Coin at an all-time high. It just means the speculative fervor in the crypto markets, all-time highs. The fucking stock market, all-time highs. Everything's all-time. You know what's not at an all-time high? People. Okay? People are not at an all-time high. Okay? They're at a pretty low point. They're pretty low. There's a real disparity between the markets and then what's on the ground, right? And that's clear. People are like, they talk about why is the stock market doing well while the economy is doing so poorly? And that's because the stock market is based on speculation. It's not about the truth. What's on the ground is the truth. What you see in front of you is the truth. And so, yes, there's a huge difference between what is speculation, psychology. The market is essentially a form of psychology, right? It's a picture of psychology. And the speculation means that, people are feeling euphoric. People are feeling great. It doesn't necessarily mean things on the ground are great. It just means that's how they're feeling. That's where they're putting their money, their imaginary money, fiat money, that it can be devalued at any moment, including the past year, where over 38% of all the US dollars ever in existence were made last year. What do you think that does to the value of it? It's going to be fine, huh? Okay, so anyways, here we are this year. Speculative fervor in the stock market. Cannabis stocks through the roof. Things are going just through the roof. Things are going parabolic. The GameStop thing. Fucking deep fucking value. Was it said, I like the stock. In short, I like the stock. That's the direct quote from him. After that, the stock went up. Hedge funds were like, oh, fuck, more buying pressure going down. Is that thing going to take off? I don't know. I bought a stock at $69 for the lulz. Okay? Who knows? Will it go up? Who fucking knows? But maybe. But if anything, it should just tell you that I don't think I'm going to put more money into the stock market. You know what I mean? I don't think that the stock market is fair or rigged. I don't think it's a free market. I don't think it's honestly, the crypto market is somewhat little more freer. There's this whole thing going on with Binance. Binance is fucking taking off. Binance is Chinance, of course. By Chinance. Binese. They're Binese. Bisexual Chinese. They're run by bisexuals. Okay, the Binance coin is at an all-time high. It's 300. What the fuck is Binance coin? Binance coin is a coin that they came up with. They basically copy-pasted Ethereum, created their own little smart contract blockchain, and created a token that powers that blockchain so you can use it for trading fees, whatever. So it's a coin created to help you buy and sell other coins for coins. Essentially, because that's all crypto trading is, trading coins for coins. And it costs you coins to trade coins for coins. Instead of taking the coins you want and the coins you pay for the coins you want, you could buy another coin that will pay for those coins. And then, so there you go. That's the coin. And that coin now is worth like $300 when it was like $30 a week ago. I mean, it got 10x. It's gone up. And then, people who've been using Ethereum, there's stuff on Ethereum called DeFi, short for decentralized finance, which is basically a decentralized way so Binance is a centralized exchange. It's like one place you got to go to whatever. But Ethereum is a blockchain that's supposed to be decentralized that offers these applications like an exchange, but decentralized, not necessarily like one company who has it, it's like spread out through users, whatever. They have this whole system. It's kind of communistic, more communistic than the Chinese. Isn't that interesting? Right now, the Chinese are more capitalistic, and the Ethereums, I think they're mostly Silicon Valley. So Ethereum is like Silicon Valley. You know what I mean? Think of Bitcoin kind of maybe a little more like New York finance now, or like just traditional finance is getting into Bitcoin because they looked at it, they've assessed it. The thesis is under company corporations are getting into it. Ethereum, on the other hand, is more like Silicon Valley, like a little more the dreams and like the Tesla. Like it's really people are betting on the future. People are betting. It's speculation. It's speculation, right? Bitcoin is a little more a little more truthy, a little more down. People are saying Bitcoin's a bubble, blah, 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 blah. But maybe the truth of the matter is that that's where the inflation is being shown, is in the price of Bitcoin, right? If you go onto a Bitcoin standard, then you're actually, instead of saying, oh, Bitcoin is now worth this many dollars, you're saying, whoa, this many dollars is worth one Bitcoin now. Look at that. You know what I mean? Like this many. Then it just shows you if you switch the standard, then that's the whole fucking thesis behind the book, the Bitcoin Standard. Read that. About you switch your thinking from the US dollar to Bitcoin, then everything priced in Bitcoin starts going down. Everything relative to Bitcoin starts going down. Bitcoin's going up, everything is going down, right? It's crazy. But you think about it, but it changes everything. And especially in the sense of like trading crypto, right? Because this whole thing I was talking about, like DeFi and then Binance, you're just trading coins for coins, and using coins so you could trade coins for coins, which is essentially what Ethereum became with DeFi. It was like, oh, you use Ethereum, and then that powers the thing where you could trade these coins for other coins, and the tokens are the tokens you use to help trade the tokens for other tokens, and then you could take those tokens and trade them for coins. And then the coins you could trade for money, I guess. I don't, you know what I mean? That's just the whole racket. It's just like coins for coins. It's like, yeah, coins for coins, and you just want gains. And then your currency of choice, you take your gains out in, right? And I think the best thing one can do probably in the speculative market, and what I'm trying to do, and I've been moderately successful, not because I'm some brilliant financial person, but we're in a crazy bull market. Everybody, you could just throw a dart on something and it'll fucking make money. You understand? Like we're in a space, but it could also come crashing down. You got to just understand when to take your profits, right? So I think so right now, I'm not quite on the Bitcoin standard. Trying to move off the fiat standard. For now, I am on a shitcoin standard. I would say that I'm probably on a shitcoin standard. Listen, just like with the Matrix, if I was offered the red pill and the blue pill, I would just take both. I'd just fucking snatch both out of Morpheus' hand, kick him in the fucking dick, and just fucking take him. Okay? And now, using that analogy, I'm being offered the orange pill, which is the Bitcoin pill, but then like almost an infinite variety of colorful other pills. Or would you like this one pill that's the truth, or this infinite variety? And I'm just I'll take the orange. I took the orange pill, but I'll take all the other pills. I took them all. I took them all, guys. I took them all, and now I'm on the shitcoin standard. That's it. So I price everything in shitcoins, and oh Jesus, it's out of control, bonkers. One of the luminaries of the Bitcoin world, Max Kaiser, says shitcoinery is the way to madness, or something like that. And I get it. You driving people crazy. You watching the charts. I meditate every day, and I know I should just let go. I should let go of that, but I still fucking watch those charts, man. I'm watching the charts. What's the charts? What are the charts doing? And it's like price action. I mean, here, I'm going to just, ultimately, it will all lead to Bitcoin, and I know this. And ultimately, I want to put everything is going to get put into Bitcoin, all right? Not because I'm like betting on anything. I'm just saying it's inevitable. If you just look at what's happening, look at the reality in front of you. Never mind the speculative fervor. You have to like try to separate the signal from the noise. That's what they call it. Separate the signal from the noise, right? And the noise right now is just like everything's a bubble. Everything's a bubble. This is a bubble. Everything's a bubble. Bubble, bubble, bubble. Everybody's like, it's a bubble, and it's going down to GameStop, and everything's a bubble. We need regulation. We gotta do something. It's a bubble, okay? And yes, that in and of itself is quite true. Being in the middle of it. I mean, we don't even know what a bubble really is, so it looks like a bubble is what we could say, but we don't really know. I mean, we could be having something they call it a melt up, where everything just blah, which I guess is a form of hyperinflation, where things just, you know what I mean? And it kind of makes sense that could happen, a melt up of sorts, maybe a crash after that. Who knows? Nobody knows. That's the whole thing, is that nobody knows. Nobody really knows. We can only make bets based on data. I mean, what? Speculation or data. That's all you got. You can either speculate on things and be like, I think it's going to be, or actually use data. Okay. And the thing about Bitcoin is that the people going into it are using data. It provides data. There's a fixed supply. There's a cycle, a regular 4-year halving cycle, and a market reaction to that. There's a stock to flow ratio that it's following. Look up all these things. There's all these things that are metrics based on past performance and based on future projection of the total supply, based on things like hash rate, whatever. There's all this fucking data that people can use. US dollar, Ethereum, like everything else, there really is. It's just speculators making, we're just like, I think it's going to go up. Everybody's like, it's going up based on what? I don't know. Is it going up versus Bitcoin? No. But everything else is going up. We're going to ride this baby up. So the real smart thing here, okay, here's what I think. The smart money right now, and this is crazy, but this is what it looks like to me. The smart money right now is taking out loans against the Bitcoin and buying more Bitcoin with it. Like, that's what the smart people are doing. That shows you where we're at. So maybe you're like, they're dumb for doing. One possibility is that all these smart people are dumb. What are they doing? They should be holding the cash, right? Like that. The other possibility is that these smart people are smart, and if you don't quite see it, they're seeing something you don't. So maybe it's worth investigating what they see, because they're not like, they're not like Dave Portnoy guys. They're not like, whoa, what am I doing? Yeah, getting into it. Yeah. These are people who are caught in the speculative fervor on the fiat standard. Whoa, what am I doing? They don't know. They don't know. I mean, stocks only go up. And that's what's happening, in all markets. Commodities, fucking crypto. The number go up. But number go up is actually a sign, perhaps, of acid inflation, of inflation of prices, not that the value is going up. Is it? Okay, anyways, look around. The food's going to start going up. Look around. All right. None of this was funny. This is kind of as financial. Last time was a book report. Now it's a financial podcast. I can't keep it. This is why I don't have as many listeners as I should. I can't. I have too many interests. I should just pick a lane. But like an Asian driver, I can't. I just fucking, you know what I mean? I swerve around. All right. Pick a lane. Can't pick a lane. So I'm going down the middle. I took all the pills. pills. I've taken all the shitcoin pills. That's what I've done. And, listen, I paused the podcast because I had to write down that I can't pick a lane because I'm an Asian driver. I thought that was funny. And then I paused it and I totally forgot why I paused the podcast. You know why? Because then I wanted to write down Uncle Sam's Guns and Butter Emporium. And then I was like, fuck, what was the other thing? And then I had to listen to the fucking podcast and be like, get all the way back here. And now I'm back here. And now, of course, I've ruined the momentum of everything I was saying. Not really. You get the picture. I'm I'm a degenerate shitcoiner right now. Instead of a degenerate stock person. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I think there's a lot of degeneracy in the market. It's gambling. It's just gambling. People are gambling. It's Chinese New Year, Year of the Metal Ox. You know how much they love to gamble? That explains why Binance coin is 300%. Year of the Metal Ox. Quila, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking, they're just fucking, imagine that, but in cyberspace, the Chinese love to gamble. Do you understand? Gambling. That's all it is. That's all it is, gambling. And why not? Why not? Speculation will always be there. Why not speculate to make the hardest money you can? Huh? Why not do that? The hard money. You work hard for your money. All right. Anyways, I think it's clear, though, if you start listening to people like Ron Paul, read the Austrian economics, like Mises and Rothbard. He was, I guess, more of an... He wasn't... I don't know what I'm talking about. But you know what I'm talking. I'd started reading and listening to a lot of libertarian stuff, a lot of Austrian economic stuff. Ron Paul, they're all about gold. They're about hard money. They're all about how, like, the fiat standard, the Fed. The fiat standard is basically, it's a form of corruption, which leads, of course, to political corruption, which then leads to financial corruption, which then also, of course, has led to media corruption. And now, of course, the population is corrupt, right? We're all part of this. And this is actually something that's happened. It was like right before Weimar Germany. I guess people like fucking played the markets. Everybody's playing markets. You know, like people, it's just something that happens when there's hyperinflation. Not saying that that's what, I don't know what's going on. I'm just saying that's just what people do. Speculative fervor. Everybody's caught up in playing markets, right? The stock markets, judging from the GameStop thing, is clear that it's being manipulated. Completely, you know? So you might as well go to another market that's also manipulated, but maybe a little less so. You think Binance isn't manipulated? I mean, you don't think, there are whales. There are whales in every market that can manipulate things. You know, Bitcoin's the only one where, you know, there's just like, it's harder to move the market as a whale. I mean, you could still do it. But it isn't like a lot of these like shitcoins, they have the people creating them own most of them. You know what I mean? They like hoard most of them and then have a market, play around with the money and then dump it at will. You know, they could do that. But guess you know what else they do that with? Fucking silver and gold. Okay? They do that with stocks. They do that with the regular financial market. You understand? They do that with the fucking treasury bonds. That's how they, you know, yield control or yield curve control, whatever. They'd fucking manipulate the markets all the fucking time. Okay? So the freest one is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the freest market. I mean, you know, I don't know what to tell you. Look at all the institutional money coming into it. There's like a floor. You know, I know. I took the orange pill. I told you though. I've taken all the other pills. Asian driver, Chinese coin, China coin, Chinance, Chinese. Chinance. Okay. Chinance. Everybody's saying Chinance. You can't get into that Chinance. You would have made a lot of money if you did, though. You would have made like fucking, if you had gotten it, 10x. I had some Binance. All right, anyway. I'm just sore because I sold what I sold. I shouldn't have sold. Whatever. I have one share of GameStop, $69. Okay, what is it at now? What's GameStop at now? Like 30 something. But who cares? It doesn't matter. Money's a goof. It's all a goof now. Okay, it's all a fucking goof. All right, that's why I'm shitcoining. So I'm a flip, shit, stack, sats. That's what I say. Flip, shit, stack, sats. Flip, shit, stack, sats. Isn't there a Reggie Watts fuck shit stack? Well, this is the flip shit stack. Flip, shit, stack. Okay. So many possible titles for this episode. So anyways, finally, Did you see President Biden? No, I'm just kidding. I don't really follow the news anymore. I don't follow. After Trump's gone, it's like, okay, it's over. Obviously, the censorship has taken over all the social media platforms. I'm just like not even really on Instagram anymore. I'm on Signal. Get on Signal where you can be racist with your friends. Okay, you can say anything you want. Well, they won't get prosecuted for hate speech, right? Edward Snowden uses Signal. Musk pumped it out. It's just like Dogecoin. So it's for the best. You know what it is. You know what this all is. It's the unraveling of everything as we know it. It's the Great Reset, right? It's the fourth industrial revolution, or the fourth turning, as some people have coined it. Some people being the Neil Howe and William Strauss, the authors of the book The Fourth Turning, which I'm reading right now. They wrote that book in 1997. And in 97, they said that we were in a period called the unraveling, where everything is kind of being unraveled, and then we're going to enter into the fourth turning period called crisis. Right? It's a crisis period. Last crisis period was World War II. The one before that was fucking Civil War. It's like a lifetime. Every lifetime's worth of time called a seculum. There's a turn. There are turns, 4 turns, like 4 seasons, and the winter part is the fourth turning, usually crisis, and then after that, new stuff comes. And the last time we did that was World War II. And we're still riding high off that World War II stuff. And looking at it, I would say I think we're still riding high off that. I mean, I think our crisis moment could have been 9/11, and then we could have had a new century, a new paradigm shift, a new thing. But we didn't. We doubled down. More war. We're like, no, more war, more fiat, more, more polarizing politics, more left, right, more media, more everything, more corruption, all the way. We don't give a fuck. We're going to do it. We're going to go to war in countries we don't even know. We have no idea why we're there. We don't care. We're going to crash. And the next crisis moment could have been the great financial crash, right? That could have been a crisis. We got to fix things. We got to fix it. But no, we doubled down again. Double down. So now we have the coronavirus pandemic. Is that the crisis where is there a new, what's going to come out of it? But there isn't, I don't know. The thing about the coronavirus pandemic, it's not World War II. It's just not. Everybody's like acting like it is. I think it's a manufactured crisis. I think that's what it is. I mean, I gotta finish this book. I gotta keep reading this book, and I gotta see if that's, what I think is going on. But here's my mini thesis. I read this book called You Are Not a Gadget by Jared Lanier, and he talks about how if you look at music, the way it's changed just in the 20th century, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, every decade had a very distinct musical style. Right? You can track it. You can track it with the changing. There's this sort of cycle going on. There's something going on in the culture where there's that. But suddenly, from the late 90s till now, it's very hard to say like what the difference in the music, pop music especially. It's like it's like the same. It's like the same. And he says in that book, You Are Not a Gadget, it's because corporations, basically after Clinton allowed corporations to merge, they essentially just became these giant corporate media conglomerates. And the thing about corporations is they don't want to lose money, so they don't like change. They don't like every decade there's something out of the blue that comes. They don't like that. They want to make everything the same so they can make money off of it. It's managed, right? They're trying to manage the cycle. They're trying to manage they're trying to manage culture and the rate of change. So maybe because of that idea, perhaps we're in an extended unraveling. We've been, at every point where we should go from unraveling to crisis, and a crisis has appeared, we've managed to kick the can down the road, just kick the can. A lot of that using the wealth generated from our grandparents, right? And a lot of that from borrowing from the future. So we've done both, basically, to kick the can. But at some point, we're going to run out. So I guess we're kind of there now, I feel like. We're at the point, we're still in the unraveling. We've kicked the can of the crisis to the point where maybe there's nothing that's possible, and then the crisis will come. I mean, it's just like any bubble in a stock market, in the markets, whatever. Everybody talks about it keeps going up. It's got to correct. And the reason why people say it needs to correct, or it should correct, or please correct, is because eventually it will come down. And the higher something goes up, the more it will come down, unless there's little corrections that give you floors, like Bitcoin's been doing, like you can see with the Bitcoin chart. Unless that happens, it's just going to come crashing down. What's to stop it from crashing down? There's no floor. If there's no ceiling, there's no floor. It's going down. So that's very possible that we are in an extended unraveling, or extended pre-crisis. Maybe we're in crisis, but it's like an extended one as well. Maybe the beginning of the crisis was actually 9/11, but we managed to extend the unraveling. And by we, I just mean the American empire, managed decline. You've heard all these phrases, right? And I think that is actually maybe what's going on. It's like the corporate entities, who don't want change, corporate collusion with the government, the media, hell, the whole Mickey Mat, right? Military, industrial, congressional, intelligence, media, academic think tank, all working in concert to keep global hegemony going. The Uncle Sam's Guns and Butter Emporium needs to run. Okay? We need to dabble in shitcoin. The Shitcoin Standard has to keep going, or else this all comes crashing down. I mean, and the thing is, it does have to crash so it could get better, but no, they don't want to. They're going to lose so much. They don't want to lose it. I got a low battery sign. I should get going. Thank you very much for joining me for this episode of the Rojan Kim Cast. Please, if you're on Signal, find me on there. I might join Telegram. I might join, focus more on privacy, social media, if I'm going to do social at all. I'm still on Twitter, barely on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. Follow this podcast. Hey, you want a shitcoin tip? I'm going to give you a shitcoin tip right now. RVN. Ravencoin. It's like a proof of work coin. People are switching from Ethereum to Ravencoin because it's more popular.